Hey guys, this is a market update. It looks like the Bitcoin cycle is playing out as ever before. October and November should be bullish months. This isn't just the Bitcoin cycle, right? This is the dollar cycle. We're valuing Bitcoin in dollars. The dollar is going through a weakening cycle right now. Most assets are at all-time highs. So why would Bitcoin not be, right? We've broken out of this pattern. You can very clearly see that. Beautiful pattern, higher lows all the time, eventually a breakout. And so we go into price discovery, right? So sometimes what happens is you come down and test this level and then go higher. Sometimes you just go higher. I don't know what's going to happen over the next few days or weeks, but let's say the next few months seem to be fairly bullish environment for risk assets, right? It's a very good period seasonally. If the government in the US is still shut down, that would actually mean that the Fed can afford to be a bit easier because you might see GDP getting a bit soft, and so the Fed can actually come down in interest rates. You know, hey, look, maybe this is planned to get the GDP figures lower and the inflation figures lower. Who knows, right? But if the central bank comes easier, that's just more fuel for this rally. And so my levels here, most banks have around 150 to 250K as where it could get to this year. We could still get there, right? So we're, 125K now. This red box is, where I wouldn't open any new trades long and actually look to maybe let go of my current trades because Bitcoin tends to top out around this level in its bull markets. It's quite high in relation to the trend rate. Now, I know it's different. You've got more institutional capital here. But look, a bear market is a bear market. When the Fed turns and makes credit expensive again, things go down, right? And so Bitcoin's not going to come out of that. Like I said, this is a dollar cycle, not just a Bitcoin cycle. But that's my target, 150, 250K, somewhere in there. I still think the risk reward is pretty decent here, to be totally honest. But let's see what happens. I think, generally still bullish and still think we can go a lot higher. Because we're in price discovery, right? If you trade Bitcoin and crypto, check out Bybit, $30,000 deposit bonus via the link below in the description. If you can't trade on Bybit, just go to Blowfin. Very good deposit bonus. They give you VIP tier for a month as well by the link below. I don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin and crypto prices short term. I can only make a best guess. Right? No one knows what's going to happen short term. But for me, if I'm in trades, which I am, all my money's in this trade, right? I'm not a LARP. I'm not just making silly videos online trying to look at lines on charts and say, oh, I think it might go here. I've got all my money in this trade. I've got short-term trades on that are leveraged and benefit when the price rises. I'm in these trades. I don't want to get out now. The reason is very simply that this box is when I will get out of them because Bitcoin is high in relation to its trend rate of growth. And therefore, the risk reward of those trades is to the side of selling rather than getting into long-term trades. How can you have a 10x bull market from here if you've just had one? It doesn't make sense, right? Also, if you don't have the blow off top to the top of the range, why would you go down significantly to the bottom of the range and have a 60 to 70% drawdown from here? That would take us to 40K. Look, maybe it does, right? Maybe it does. I don't know. And then obviously I'll just lose money in those trades, right? For my spot bags, I'll just keep them and wait. The things that I know, dollars will debase against Bitcoin. 100% certain I can put my life savings in that. For trades, what I know is that up here, the risk reward isn't great. At these levels, it's fine, so I'll go in. That's how I play it, very simple. And like I said, I'm not a LARP, I've got my money in these things, but everyone's different. The main thing for me is Bitcoin is gonna go up versus dollars long term. So if I'm trading, right, if I'm using leverage, I just have to manage that leverage. If you're just buying spot Bitcoin, just wait, right, and dollar cost average. This is Bitcoin versus gold. We had a small breakout here. Gold's outperformed very well this year, but look at the uptrend, right? It's gotta happen, right? A real bull market for Bitcoin is when you get the outperformance versus gold. We've had a few of them, as you can see, right? Big outperformance here, then a bear market, big outperformance here, then a bear market, and then we're just climbing higher and higher. You got to expect it to break out again, right? Because it just has higher growth rates than gold. Now, gold's done fantastic this year. It's outperformed. It's like the best year ever, right? That's great for gold, but we should have a breakout, right? So looking at this, not at the top of the range yet in dollars, not the breakout versus gold. So it might not happen, but all I'm saying is from a risk reward standpoint, that's all you can focus on because you don't know what's going to happen to the price. So you just have to say, is it a good time to get into a trade? I think it's okay still. I think it's decent. I'm in my trades. I don't think it's time to get out of them, right? Get out of them when you break out. Get out of them when you break out. But for right now, probably just stay in them. That's the best risk reward, right? And just manage everything yourself as to your own personal finances. Bitcoin and crypto tend to move very fast when they do move. You get these long periods of sideways action, downwards action, and then suddenly, you just get the re-ratings here. Bitcoin is number 2, so 31% up this year. Gold's still 47, absolute bumper year for gold. Bitcoin could move very easily above this over the next few months if we get some price discovery. If not, look, Bitcoin is a 5 to 10 year time horizon investment. and it has more performance than everything else. So you dollar cost average it. If it's underperforming, you buy it. If it's in a bear market, you have to buy it. I know it feels awful at that time, but that's where you get all the returns. You either believe in it or not, right? I think it's just an asset allocation thing at this point. Like, how much Bitcoin do you have as a percentage of your portfolio? I think it has to be in there, right? Because look, we've got these big investment banks now saying, look, you got to get into the cryptocurrency trade. They're saying opportunistic growth, 4% allocation. Okay, how about 100%? Look, 62% of the time, lockdowns actually end in positive markets. If the government shuts down for a long period, that's going to drag GDP, right? It's going to drag GDP lower and expectations of growth lower. And that means a central bank can come a lot easier. Are they doing this on purpose? There doesn't seem to be a lot of media fanfare about this. It's kind of strange. Usually you get this huge, like, the government's going to shut down, it's the end of the world. And now it's just like, the government shut down, right? So what's the media doing here? It's kind of strange, right? Usually they're really on top of it. And now it's like, no one even knows that it's happening. But it's going to drag GDP. Are they doing it on purpose to get these GDP figures lower and the unemployment figures higher so that they can actually drop interest rates and print the money to buy the bonds? Is that what they're doing? Can't be, right? Can't be that. But in any case, it's going to work out eventually. They're going to open the government eventually and get things back on track. But until then, GDP may take a small hit. And that just means that the central bank can be a bit easier, which, again, during the dollar debasement cycle, is pretty good news for risk assets overall. I know we can get some volatility, but this is the trade, right? This is the trade. It's just get out of the paper, get out of the games and go into something actually more reliable. I know I bang on about Bitcoin all the time. I get it. But you're watching a Bitcoin video, so I'm sure you're interested in it as well. I just believe that Bitcoin is the hurdle rate for our generation. And I think the previous generation, the boomer generation, the S&P 500 was the hurdle rate. And now I believe Bitcoin is the hurdle rate. And the reason I say that is because Bitcoin isn't a specific investment like buying a individual stock or an individual altcoin like an exchange coin or something else. It's an asset class like gold. I mean, gold was the hurdle rate for many generations. The S&P was the hurdle rate. You had property, your real estate, your home is the hurdle rate. I think the hurdle rate in our generation is Bitcoin. And so if you can't beat it, you have to buy it. Most things are down in Bitcoin terms. In USD, the NASDAQ index is up 150%, but in Bitcoin terms, it's down 78%. The S&P is up 100% in USD terms. It's down 84% in Bitcoin terms. Home price is down 87% in Bitcoin terms. If you're a young person, you're thinking, how do I save the money to buy a house? Because houses are going up a lot, right? The only way to do it is to buy something that is the actual hurdle rate and beats that. If you want houses to become cheaper, don't value them in dollars, value them in Bitcoin. If you're a young person, work as much as you can, save in the asset that is the hurdle rate, try to demonetize the house. It's kind of the only way, right? You're not going to get it from any other way. You're not going to get it by voting in someone who says that we're going to do X, Y, and Z. It never works. They always go higher in dollar terms. They always go higher in fiat currency terms. You have to play the game, which is to outperform it. Bitcoin and gold, the outperformers here. If you want to demonetize boomers, the S&P and their houses, the best way to do that is to go and buy Bitcoin, in my opinion, right? Gold, fantastic, but look, it's Bitcoin, right? 5-10 year time horizon. It has to be Bitcoin. It's the outperformer. Investment banks like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley are sending out these wealth notes to their wealth management clients saying they want to get into the debasement trade, right? I don't think that Bitcoin is a debasement trade. I think Bitcoin is money, and you should just own money and not paper. Paper, fiat currency, is credit. You shouldn't own anyone else's credit. Now, I know we have liabilities in that credit. We have to pay them, and that's fine. We always need a balance of that to pay our short-term liabilities. And if we lose our job, then what are we going to do? Because you lose your job in a recession where Bitcoin's 50% down from the high, right? I get it. So we need float for current liabilities, but it's not a debasement trade, right? That is looking at it through the lens of TradFi trying to sell things. It's not a trade. It's not investment. Bitcoin is money. You want to hold money, right? It's as simple as that. So think longer term, like 5-10 years, your savings, your money, that's Bitcoin, right? But of course, we always need some paper. You can't save in the paper, right? It's other people's credit. Home prices in USD versus Bitcoin. It's the whole point. Bitcoin is money. So why would anything go up versus pure money, right? Because everything else can be built or created or made. Bitcoin can't be. S&P in dollars versus Bitcoin. This is like part of the scam where everyone says the S&P's gone up. In real terms, has it? In real purchasing power terms, has it gone up? Maybe a little bit. It's certainly better than dollars. But measuring from dollars is not the game, right? Measuring from dollars is a fugazi. They want everything to be measured in dollars, right? Everyone says, what's the price of Bitcoin? We measure it in dollars. That's wrong, right? You should measure Bitcoin in nothing. Bitcoin is the money. You should measure it in Bitcoin. Everything measured in Bitcoin is down. That's the point, right? It's real money. If you trade Bitcoin, crypto, check out the $30,000 deposit bonus on Bybit. If you can't trade on Bybit, I think up to 10,000 on Blowfin plus VIP for a month as well, by the link in the description below. I'm James, this is ManagerG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.